Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Memocano, and today for this video I'd like to show y'all the back rank mate. So the back rank mate is another very common checkmate, one of the first checkmates that I ever did. In the last video I said the ladder mate is probably the checkmate that I've done the most. I have to retract that. It might be this one. This is extremely common, one of the easiest checkmates to find if your opponent makes a mistake of not averting it or finding a way to avoid the checkmate. And basically, a back rank mate is a checkmate delivered by a rook or queen along the back rank, in which the mated king is unable to move up the board because the king is blocked by friendly pieces, usually pawns, that are on the second rank. And I'd like to start this video by showing y'all 4 examples, and then going on to show you a back rank mate that I did in one of the games that I did, just so that you get an idea of how to set it up for yourself. And so here we're on lichess.org, a very good website to practice. We're under the practice tab, under the learn tab, in checkmate patterns 1. And as you can see on the screen, we've got 2 scenarios. My rook is on the 7E, and all I have to do here is move it up to the 8th row, and it's a checkmate. Here's another example using a queen and a rook. In this case, he's protected his back rank with his rooks. However, as you can see here, in 2 moves, in that first move, I take his rook with a checkmate, so he has to, with a check, which he has to defend, and now he's left with a rook that's being attacked by my queen, and that's the back rank mate. Here we have another scenario where he has tripled pawns on the B file, and my rook is on F1, his king is on A6, and all I have to do is move from the F1 square to the A1 square, and that's a back rank mate. And this one's probably the most complex scenario that I'll be showing you all, but it's just another example of what you can do and how you can move. And so with this one, the queen is going to go to F7, make the king move to H8. And now we're going to sacrifice the queen, forcing his bishop to come back into the 8th file, and taking it with my rook. And that's going to be a back rank checkmate in the end. And so those are the scenarios, and now I'd like to go into the game so that y'all could see how to set it up, and how I set it up, and maybe you can get some ideas for yourself. In this game, I'll be showing you how I set up a back rank mate threat. Ultimately, it comes down to the opponent making a mistake and allowing me to back rank mate them. I'll show you here that near the end, he blocks his own square that he was covering and allows me to back rank mate. And at the end, I'll also show you, or I'll tell you about a move he could have made to not allow me to do a back rank mate. So this is a game against a man from Egypt. He was ranked 876. I was ranked 890 at the time. And in the end, I'm going to give props to my opponent here and say that he played above his class and played higher than an 876, but ultimately I came out on top. He starts with E3, I start with G6, going for a King's Indian. According to the computer here on chess.com, he went for the Vent Cruige's opening, which I've never played before. So he moves his knight. I fianchetto my bishop, putting my dark squared bishop on a very strong diagonal. And he continues his attack. I put my knight on F6, and I think he fianchettos his bishop there. Yes, he fianchettos his bishop, again putting his bishop on an extremely strong diagonal. We're both ready to castle at this point. I castle, he chooses to move a pawn, and he stalls castling for a while here. And so I take D4, he takes, and I continue my development here, fianchettoing my next bishop as well. So here he finally castles. So he castles queenside, and that's important to remember because we want to keep an eye on the king in order to see the checkmate. I kick out his bishop. I take his bishop with my pawn, opening up my e-file for my rook, which is something he's got to watch out for. Here the game goes on. This is the middle game. He gives me a free bishop here. At this point, I'm up material. The computer gives me 3.1 superiority, 3.1 points of superiority. Oh, but here he forks my rook, so I take his pawn, he takes my rook, then I take my knight again, and I still have a 4.0 of superiority according to the computer. Here we're kind of shuffling back and forth. I'm looking for an opportunity here. And one of the things out of all the moves, I believe I'm on move 24 here, and there's 33 total moves. One of the moves that I would have recommended was a simple prophylactic move. You see how my king on G8 has a free square to go to H7 or H8. Well, here it would have been good for him to do a prophylactic move. Prophylactic means what prophylactic means, just in case, or before things get scary, before it's needed. It's a preventative, it's a preventative measure. When I went to medical school in Galveston, I learned that move. And so here he could have gone, at some point, just to protect, and I recommend all of you all do this as well, is at some point he should have gone A3. A3 would have changed, at least it wouldn't have let me do a back rank mate. At this point, I still have a superiority on the board with a 5.4, but here, he chooses to go F4, which is a free pawn, by the way. But I choose to attack his rook with my bishop. He trades there. And so here, as you can see, his queen is on F3, and it's protecting D1, which is where my rook would need to go for a back rank mate, right? I take the pawn, take the knight, and here I move my bishop back to c5, and right now I do have the option of back rank mating him, but it's his turn. So I'm on it's his turn, so he has an opportunity to save himself. He now opens up, he allows the queen to see the d1 square, so I can't back rank mate him at this point. I move, we keep shuffling, and at this point, he, for some reason, chooses to block that queen from seeing the d1 square, and I checkmate him. Like I said, at this point, if he had done that prophylactic move early on, he would have avoided this, as well as he should have made another move, maybe going to f4, attacking my pawn and still protecting that square. So this is how you do a back rank mate. Like I said, it's one of the most common mating patterns, and I'd like to challenge the viewers to do a back rank mate and to post it in the comments. And if someone shows me a really cool back rank mate, I'll feature it on the channel, make a video about it, and post it. But yes, so hope you all learned something. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next month. Peace.